Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to tell you about the engineering design process: learn, create, make, earn a badge. I love the idea of scout badges. Each badge is a tangible reminder of a newly acquired skill and achievement or the willingness to work hard and learn. Badges are cool. I wanted to incorporate them into my classroom. However, custom made badges are expensive and I was not sure how the kids would display them. I also want badges that recognize the cumulative set of skills. Learning is a series of activities that fit together like a puzzle. Puzzle badges would allow students to celebrate each step of their learning. The activity was a perfect fit for teaching the engineering design process. Supplies. These are all the supplies which are used for this project. And these are the tools and equipments which are used for this project: safety goggles, drill, wire strippers. Step 1. Identify the problem. A puzzle is a good analogy to learning. Both require pieces to fit together. Finishing a hard puzzle is always a reason to celebrate. Learning should be celebrated. In scouting, badges are used to acknowledge and celebrate achievements and learning new skills. Step 2. Research. Here below in the picture you can also see the research questions. To start the project, I brought in my daughter's Girl Scout vest that had both organizational patches and badges, a toy sheriff badge and a Maker Faire Learn to Solder skill badge. As a group, we developed the following research questions. What is a badge? What materials can be used to make badges? How can badges be displayed or attached? How are badges earned? What is the most common size for a badge? What are digital badges, etc.? Step 3. Requirements and constraints. A survey of the class determined that the students would like to earn badges that could be attached to their backpacks. Initial requirements: a fun design, colorful, 2 inches or less in size, sturdy material. Badges must connect like puzzle pieces, easy to attach, no sewing or making holes in the backpack. LEDs would be fun, easy to follow rules for earning the badge fare. Constraints. Our class doesn't have a 3D printer or a laser cutter. Our class is not permitted to solder. Our class has only basic sewing skills. Step 4. Determine the number of pieces in the badge puzzle. The goal of this project was to understand and apply the engineering design process, so I decided that the puzzle should have 6 pieces. I had the students find 6 connecting pieces from a recycled puzzle. This was my first aha moment. The shapes created by the interconnected puzzles were all different, and one of my students said, "Too bad we are not going to be able to add more pieces to the learning puzzle." Also, some of the cardboard pieces were already bent. Step 5. Create a fun design. During our research, we found several free programs to design digital badges, and we studied counting badges. One thing that we noticed was that badges in a similar area of knowledge, such as nature, had the same background colors or borders. Most had icons or pictures, and the digital badge had words too. I gave each student 6 wooden puzzle pieces and asked them to put their pieces together. It was really interesting. Some kids put them in a rectangle, but others put them in a straight line. Initially, I was thinking that we would work in group to design a piece for each step. However, we realized that each piece would have to be linked to the surrounding pieces to create a picture for the puzzle. The students traced their puzzle pieces on graph paper so they could develop their design. Step 6. Not just a badge but wearable technology. My students loved the idea of the Maker Faire to learn to solder a badge that had an LED. If one light is good, 6 lights are better. This would also meet the initial requirements of an LED would be fun. It also added great opportunities for prototyping, testing, designing, communicating, prototyping, testing, designing, communicating, and working with the constraint our class is not allowed to solder. Step 7. Drill the holes. Once the students had drawn their design and marked the location for the LED on each puzzle piece, the pieces needed to be drilled. I decided that I would drill the holes to save time, and I was concerned with students securing the pieces to safely drill. I discovered the best and quickest way to drill the holes was to have the students put a dot of glue on each piece and glue it to a paper plate and just drill the paper plate. Step 8. Making the puzzle. I wanted each piece to have a step of the engineering design process, so we reviewed the concepts and discussed options for each step. For example, build, create, construct, produce, fabricate, manufacture, prototype could all be used interchangeably. Step 9. Sealing the design. Separate the pieces on the paper plate. Paint each piece with high gloss Mod Podge. Mod Podge produces a great hard high gloss finish that makes the badge look similar to enamel pins. However, it requires time to dry. I had the kids paint them on Friday so that they would be completely dry by Monday. Step 10. Create the LED circuits. A puzzle badge could be made without an LED. However, my students were very excited to have light up badges. They also wanted each piece to have an on-off switch, so if you want just one piece, it would still light up instead of having to on all of the pieces before it would light up. If your students have never worked with LEDs, be sure to add time for exploration. Step 11. Add the magnet. One of the initial requirements was easy to attach, no sewing or making holes in the backpack. Based on our research, the students decided to use magnets. This decision provided lots of opportunities for testing and redesign. Adhesive craft magnets do not work. Magnetic tape doesn't work. Neodymium magnets do work. Step 12. Add the LED circuits to puzzle. Insert the LED from the back of the puzzle piece. Adjust the wires. Use liquid glue to attach to the puzzle piece. I was going to cover the wires, but the kids wanted them to show and it was their project. Step 13. Requirements for earning badge. For earning the badge, I asked each student to write the steps of the engineering design process and give an example of how they use it to create their puzzle badges.